What's up, everybody, and welcome to my NXT review. One thing I do want to say before this review actually begins, I don't know when this will be uploaded or whatnot, but this is not going to stop me from recording and everything. I got internet problems right now, and hopefully I get this DSL fixed tomorrow because I got bullshit going on with that, okay? So, yeah, whenever this gets uploaded, it will be uploaded, but like I said, that's not going to stop me from recording this stuff, okay? But NXT, we got a lot of big stuff going on. The Fight Pit match, particularly, that's supposed to be the main event. And of course, we got more Dusty Rhodes, classic matches, well, classic tag team tournament matches, I should say, tonight. So, a lot going on. But before we do begin off this show, we go to the commentary team between Vic Joseph and Wade Barrett. But who do we bring back finally on commentary in person? Beth Phoenix. Mostly Beth Phoenix has been the Invisible Woman most of the time. Mostly just commentating, I'm sure, from her home and whatnot. Mostly maybe due to COVID. Just COVID in general, and probably didn't want to take the risk of being there because there's always some outbreak going on in WWE. So I guess she did not want to try to be there and catch the virus and whatnot. She's been doing this remotely, but she's finally came back. But why is she back after all this time? Why finally come back live? And we'll get to that in a second, though, because she does somewhat play a part into this show tonight when it comes to this whole Dusty Classic tournament that's going on right now. Because I wonder, like, after all this time, they finally brought her back on commentary in person. Like, we already know she's on commentary. She's actually back on TV this time. So, yeah, Beth Phoenix back on TV. But we do kick it off though with the first round, another round of the Dusty Classic tournament. Like I said, what was it? The first round and whatnot. The way of Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory versus Leon Ruff and Kushida. Not a bad opener, I should say. Pretty good tag match in the beginning. I'll give it that. Of course, they have made Kushida look very unstoppable or damn near invincible at this point, beating everybody. And there's no difference here. Kushida and Leon Ruff were able to get the win, though. Kushida got the like a hoverboard Northern Light suplex onto Johnny Gargano, which he did pin the North American champion, which I'm sure it's going to be a match between both of them pretty soon for that North American title. But Kushida got the win, and him and Leon Ruff move on into the next round of the tournament, okay? Not a bad match, though. I'll give it that. I didn't know half of these other matches happened in this tournament already. I feel like it's a lot of makeshift tag teams, too. And I guess a lot of these matches are being on 205 Live because even throughout the night, I'm like, wait, who was in this tournament again? Because I didn't even know this person was in it, or they moved on to the next round. Like, when did they have the match? So some of this stuff I don't even know about because I guess some of these matches are on 205 Live apparently, and it's just a lot of made up teams I don't even know too at the same time. So, yeah, apparently we had matches over the weekend. Pete Dunne doing a sit down, basically promo talking about Finn Balor. Him and Finn coming to the same upbringing, but everybody compares Pete Dunne to Balor and whatnot. And he knew he was gonna have to face Balor one day, and basically gonna be forced to live in my legacy, as Pete Dunne said. And everybody talks about what you when you were better, but talk about you now, but you're gonna be talking about me because I'm better, basically, than Finn Balor and whatnot. I don't know if that was the exact quote he said, but it was a cold line from Pete Dunne. So not a bad sit down promo. Um, Next, they went to Killer Cross, who basically killed Shanta the Adonis, several Doomsday Saito suplexes, and hit him with the big forearm in for the win. But right after his friend, or I think tag partner Desmond Troy got in, which he ended up getting hit with a cross jacket. So obviously Cross is biding his time right now. He will be in the main event soon enough. Okay, we all know he's coming after Finn in that title. He never lost the belt, but they're just giving Cross wins right now, building him very steadily in the main, back into the main event for the title, which I see him getting the belt back during Mania weekend when they do a takeover with him and Balor. So Cross is most likely getting that belt very, very soon when the time is right. He's just biding his time right now. Next, we had an MSK promo between Dez and Wentz. I'm still going to continue to call them that because these new names suck, and I don't know where they get them sometimes. Just out of a bad name generator, and that Wesley Nash Carter shit sucks. So I'm going to continue to call them Dez and Wentz out there. Basically, they never really explained what MSK was. They just said, we're like family and everything, and just we're gonna win the Dusty Classic. So we don't know what MSK means. We don't really know much about them. We just know kind of little what they say. They're cool and whatnot. So it's not much to know out this tag team right now of MSK or whatever MSK even means. So we don't even know. Okay, it's just MSK and it's just Dez and Wentz. So there you go. Imperium went against the Lucha House Party, which this is one of the first times out of the night. It's the night of upset, folks. The night of upsets for a lot of people in this show, and a lot of upsets going on between Imperium and the Lucha House Party. I was surprised Lucha House Party even won after they got beat by the Hurt Business last Monday. Why would I think they were going to win in this tournament match? But no, they did end up winning right here with a shooting star. Actually, not bad of a match. It was pretty good. I just didn't really expect Imperium to lose right here. And then when they kind of turned around, Alexander Wolf was there from NXT UK. They thought he was still over there. Basically, the polls for Imperium, as the other two did it also. Could Walter be coming back to NXT pretty soon, or is he still on the UK show and whatnot? Because it's mostly been him and Wolf over there, and the rest of the Imperium guys over here. But could all four of them be back on regular NXT soon enough? I'm not really sure, but we'll see if Walter is going to be showing up on NXT. Could it be the first step? I'm not sure. They had a weigh-in for both Ciampa and Thatcher for the fight pit tonight. William Regal, who had Beth Phoenix, which now we know why Beth Phoenix was brought in here tonight, to talk about the whole Dusty Cup, about the women's revolution. That's a lot of pandering there when it comes to that. But they had this wall to talk about all the great NXT women's champions that have been in NXT, or just the notable, just from Sasha to Bayley to basically the four horsewomen, Asuka, Baszler, Bliss, and others. I don't know the category. Well, okay, she's an NXT alumni, but talk about all those women, how they've main event pay-per-views and even WrestleMania. And now this is another first. That's now the first of the Dusty Classic, which, by the way, they signed 3 women today just to throw bodies out there for this tournament, too. I know they signed Priscilla Kelly, which my friend was very pissed off that he did not get a chance to see her on the show, which she was only there standing, just didn't even wrestle. They announced all these people didn't even wrestle, so oh, and they had new names also. So yeah, another random bad WWE generator name, whatever the fuck they calling this girl, I don't even know. But she talked about just the whole tournament. This is the first of and whatnot, as they brought out the first 2 teams of Toni Storm, Mercedes Martinez, going against Kay and Casey Catanzaro. Not bad, but at the same time, another surprising finish. Now, it ended up with Io Shirai doing this horrible looking ass throw on Mercedes Martinez on the table, which Mercedes had to basically throw herself, but I can see why, because listen, Mercedes Martinez is a giant compared to Io Shirai, okay? Like, let's be honest, Io is small compared to her, and that throw looked very bad. It's like she just pushed her, and Mercedes Martinez had to bump herself just to make it look good to land on the table. So that was kind of weak of Io's interference. So they could have gave her a weapon just to hit her with or something. That would have been better, because that odd looking throw just looked horrible that Mercedes had to jump herself. Just jump herself in the air just to get there, okay? So something that didn't really make sense from that. And then Toni Storm, well, that makes sense from that, but it could have been better. But Toni Storm basically got pinned by Casey Catanzaro doing his corkscrew 450, 420. I don't even know how many numbers to say. It looked like she missed it at first when you watch it in slow motion, but it was connected, though. I'll say that. I was almost surprised that Casey and Kay and Kai actually moved on in this tournament, but they are one of the legit tag teams in this tournament for the women, so they could win it for all I know. Possibly. I'm not really sure, but possibly they could win. Okay? But that was the first round of this whole tournament for the women's side of it. So I just think that throw by Io Shirai looked very weak. Next, Finn Balor basically was around looking for Regal, talking about if anybody's going to help tag against Oni and Lorcan next week, which he ended up going to Undisputed Era's locker room and asking Kyle O'Reilly if he wanted to do it, and he said he's down for it. Bronson Reed, who's continuing to argue with Swerve. I don't even know where they're going with Swerve half the time at this point. Bronson Reed, who went against Tyler Rust, the guy that got Bivens walking around with. A good win for Reed, which I feel like they're going to be pushing him into something big with the whole Godzilla toy on him and whatnot. they got something big planned for him. Okay, I believe they do. I don't want to see another match with him and Swerve just because Swerve loses all the time. But Bronson Reed not bad out here. Very really not bad. Even against this Tyler Rush dude. So they're just kind of feel like they're packing up wins for him too. Um, and whatnot. But next we had what was it? Yes, Legado del Fantasma was out there. Santos Escobar was cutting a promo talking about, he's a champion of champions, that, Balor has a glass jaw and Gargano loses it every time he gets it. And then start talking about Cross, how this guy just had the title and then, he just loses it then. He just had to give it up. He didn't have what it takes, which they look like they almost set up for a Cross and Santos Escobar feud, but don't know if I really want to see that right now since the way he was calling him out and whatnot. But, oh yeah, calling out Cross and just talking about he is the NXT Cruiserweight Champion, and that Escobar went and talk about the Lucha House Party, that the guys at Fantasma will take the tag belts. Um, they said they're on the first step of being the tag team champions after winning their first round tournament match. But they're going against Lucha House Party next, which they did come out and brawl with them then. They end up getting, I think, Lince Dorado and Santos about to do something for the top rope. But then this dude came in, which was Kurt Stallion on 205, which they continue to talk about. I have no idea. I don't watch 205 Live, so I don't even know what the fuck this dude even was. I don't know who he is. And I don't know. The Santos promo wasn't bad, I'll say that, even though I felt like they tried to drag it along a little, given that this guy has literally no competition on this show. It's just him almost every other week cutting a promo or doing a match with some random dude, okay? But whoever this Kurt Stallion is, supposedly big on NXT, I don't even know. I don't know. I've never even seen the guy. So, I can't really determine that, okay? I can't. But, yeah, still, good promo, though. Not good promo, but yeah, I don't know what the fuck they got on 205 Live, okay? I don't know who this guy's competition is. Santos, who he's beating everybody. Who else he got to face? Who? Tell me who he has to face out of this Kurt Stallion dude. I don't even know anymore. What's next? End up interviewing Spud and Dane about them being in the tournament next week. Yes, we now get. Well, I guess Stallion's getting a title shot against Santos next week, since that's going to be on after what Santos said. With the title shot next week, you got it. In the main event, though, yes, the Fight Pit match, folks. The Fight Pit. Can Thatcher finally get a win? Him versus Ciampa, starting at the top of the Fight Pit. Basically, both men started brawling with each other then. Pretty much on the platform area up top. Thatcher, I know he suplexed Ciampa onto the wooden boards. Ciampa ended up hitting him with his own suplex on him too. Even almost like he tried to drop him over the cage or whatnot, but that wasn't really about to go. But he just kept stepping on him then several times until they finally got to the ground floor of it during commercial, which both men started striking each other then right after. Thatcher coming back, basically coming back, taking down Ciampa right here then. Basically, Thatcher kept trying to put holds on him then. Ciampa was able to get out of it. Pretty much holding his wrist in, slamming into the mat several times. That's who was going to tap out on that. Thatcher, just still in the cage, basically, started trying to fight back at Ciampa then. Even tried to go for a sleeper, but Ciampa got out of it right after that, which, he tried to go for a sleeper then, not a sleeper, but tried to go for a DDT, hit the, whatever, paradigm shift, Death Rider, whatnot, basically get up. I think he was gone then. Wow. I feel like I got some of those words wrong. I think I said sharpshooter, right? But yeah, like I said, wrist lock, whatnot. Thatcher just going at Ciampa several times in the match. Sleeper, I said sleeper hold. Wow, why did I get that wrong and whatnot? I don't know why. But even at one point, he grabbed Thatcher. He grabbed Ciampa. Ciampa was able to nutshot Thatcher in, and even used the referee's assistance just to hit the Willow's Bell DDT on him. Pretty much trying to go for the fairy tale ending then, but it did not work. Thatcher came back with several uppercuts to Ciampa, knocking him into the chain link fist and whatnot, even knocking him into the bars, trying to almost hit his head on him, but Ciampa came back, hitting like his own Willow's Bell onto those bars of the steel and whatnot, hits the fairy tale ending, and you know, ends up picking up Thatcher, trying to put him into submission, choke him out. But Thatcher basically came back then. Pretty much got a good comeback on him then. Pretty much picking up Ciampa, knocking him into like the steel, cage, not a cage suddenly, but in the fight pit itself, into the cage where his leg got stuck and he could hold the other one, do a stretch muffler, and then win the match. So finally, folks, Timothy Thatcher got a win, and God knows how long, because this guy almost gets his ass kicked by everybody on NXT. And only, like I said before, just like last time, only one notable match that he has won is the fight pit, just like the one with Matt Riddle. I will say this was a very good fight pit. It was like some of a brawler style, more brutal. Would I say it's better than the one they had with Riddle? Maybe to some extent, but this was still a fight. This was still a brawl between Thatcher and Ciampa. I enjoyed the fight pit. Okay, I liked the fight pit. I wish it actually happened more often and whatnot, but that's one of those things where I thought it was enjoyable, and both of these guys still did kick each other's ass and whatnot. Like I said, I know some people aren't the biggest fan of that, or some try to say look at UFC, but I like this. I still liked it. It was still good. Thatcher, can they really capitalize on this? I don't know. I hope they do after what happened last time. They just had him win and he just went on and jobbed everybody. I'm not really sure. Hmm. I'm not really sure where they're gonna go with Thatcher, but one could hope they could do something other than just have him lose to everybody off the roster, then and then he just beats one person to take over. So I don't know what to expect, but probably we'll look that up until anything happens soon. Okay, so yeah. Hmm. But yeah, I'm scratching my head right there. But yeah, Thatcher. We'll see what happens with Thatcher next or Ciampa. But Thatcher, he beat Ciampa, so something's got to happen big for him, or he's just gonna keep losing, going back to the same holding pattern again with Thatcher. Okay, because I don't even know sometime. Other than that, though, I'm done with this review. It'll be uploaded line whenever it gets uploaded, when I get the internet fixed. But yeah, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at Hood990. Check any other video that is up online or anything that has to do with NXT, okay? Other than that, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.